I've been telling them about Sri Ganesha, how important it is to worship Sri Ganesha. Now you know through photographs and all that it's a living deity and it is on Muladhara. He is actually the chancellor of all the universities, I would say, in the sense that he is sitting on all the chakras. Without him, nothing can work out because he is the one who is holiness. So wherever the Kundalini goes, it is he who pours the holiness and the cleansing power of Sri Ganesha cleanses your chakras. So it is very important to understand the virtue of Sri Ganesha, how he works within your chakras and how he helps you. We may worship him, just we may sing his praise and all that, but we should also think what qualities we have got from him of great chastity, great purity, also of wisdom. We have to understand that our wisdom is not something that could be inculcated. It cannot be something that can be maneuvered. It is something very innate thing, and it comes through our maturity. So this maturity can only come through the proper attention to your Kundalini, to fixing up your Kundalini with the all-pervading power. This has to be done through regular meditation. It's not a ritual, but it should be done whenever you feel like. And after some time you will find that you are all the time in meditation. You don't have to even meditate, but you are in meditation. His style is so great that it has no words to be described. But only thing I would like to say that he is a little child. He is an eternal child. And the eternal childhood gives him that innocence of a child. We cannot force ourselves to be innocent because we have grown and we have learnt lots of cunning things. But when the Kundalini starts rising and she starts blessing our chakras, automatically we start thinking our innocence has come back. Now we have got innocent heart, innocent mind, and innocent love. This simple, innocent personality is the sign of a good sadhu. And then he also knows for definite through his experience that he is looked after by the Ganas of Sri Ganesha. Whether you are in Russia or in England or in India, they are all over. And the way they are watching you and the way they guide you and the way they help you, you have these experiences and you know that how many people have written about their experiences that we could not even compile them in a book. But all these Ganas are there and they are so kind and so nice. But apart from that, they are also watching. They are seeing how is your behavior. If you try to take advantage of Sahaja Yoga by any chance, it may be punished. It may act against you. I have warned you many times not to exploit Sahaja Yoga for your advantage. It is for the advantage of others and not for your advantage. You already have got your own realization. But exploitation should not be there at all. On the contrary, the enjoyment of Sahaja Yoga is the best way to know Sahaja. So far, we have had some bad experiences, but very, very few. Surprisingly, people who have never known even the first word Ga of Ganapati have become such devoted bhaktas of Sri Ganesha, and they have understood the importance of innocence and of purity. I am rather sad today that all the Sahaja Yogis are now going away to their countries, and I wish them that they carry this purity of Sri Ganesha with them, which is very much required in your countries, very much to be spread out. Only you have to desire and it will spread. I am sure things will change very soon and you will have a much better time. There are many, many things which are false in this world. Lots of things are full of falsehood. Doesn't matter. All this falsehood, everything can be easily cleared out by the truth, the light of the truth. So today is Sri Ganesha's temple is here, so we'll do Sri Ganesha's worship first and then the Devi's worship. I hope you people will say all the Atharvashesh and everything. May God bless you all. I hope you have enjoyed the tour very much and now you are going with such good vibrations. Carry them to your own countries and give my love to all the Sahaja Yogis who have not come. May God bless you. So the main thing we have to realize that equilibrium, that is being worked out by Paramachaitanya. If Paramachaitanya is the power of love of God, then it works out equilibrium. So the Sahajogis who are going to work out Paramachaitanya have to have equilibrium in their life. This is a place where I say resides Mahaganesha. So we have to understand how Sri Ganesh brings balance in us. It's very important to see that his swastika represents nothing else but balance. Balance when it is steady. When it starts moving in the right direction, then constructive work starts, and also it works out all that is important for life. But when it starts the other way around, it works out the destructive part. These both are in balance. If they are not, life cannot go on. The constructive and destructive both have to be in balance. See in nature. If you see in the nature, for example, a bud has to come, and when the bud dies, then the fruit comes out. The tree has to evaporate its water to the sky. If it does not, then it won't rain. It won't trigger the rain. But during winter season, it has to drop out its leaves, because these leaves have to die and fall onto the ground to nourish the mother nature with nitrogen. Then during summertime, again they come back. So the life goes on like this, that whatever is created is destroyed, something new comes up, again that new thing also comes up in a way that it becomes constructive, and then whatever it has constructed, part of it is destroyed. So actually if you see, in the death resides the life. If there is no death, imagine if all the people who are born since long would have been living today, we would not have been here. It would have been so difficult to manage ourselves with all these people. But so many animals have died, and those animals also have become human beings. So many human beings have to die to get other people to come on this earth, and that you have to take some rest and come back again. So the death is just a change of life. Without death, life cannot exist. It's a balance between the two. So a Sahajogi should never be afraid of death. He should never be afraid of death. Because if he is going to die, it is only going to be another life where he rests for a while and comes back with greater enthusiasm, with greater energy. So there is a complete balance in nature. If you see, if there was no balance, we could not have existed. Supposing the earth was moving with a greater speed, we would not have existed. If the Pacific Ocean was deeper even by certain feet, we would not have existed. So many things are completely in balance. The distance with the sun, the distance with the moon, everything is so much in balance. If this balance breaks, then we would be nowhere. So we have to understand that all this is done by Sri Ganesha. He is the one who looks after all the material things and all the things that are created. For example, the first chakra is created by this Mother Earth, and all this universe then is created by the second chakra. But the first chakra is the one which emits the holiness, the auspiciousness, which gives balance. Auspiciousness comes only through balance. So I find people, when they have lost their balances, they go to the right or to the left. People are very righteous, extremely righteous, very good Sajogis, nice, but there is no love. Without love, righteousness has no meaning. Love doesn't mean that you indulge into anything, but you must have detached love and responsibility. So in our life, we should see if we have that balance or not. It's very important if we have to see to Sri Ganesh. Sri Ganesh, as you know, is on Muladhara. He controls all our senses as far as the Muladhara is concerned, especially all the excretion. So we are not people who believe in the indulgence of it, neither we believe in the detachment of it, but in the balance. That's why you all have to be married, you have to have a proper physical life, and that you should have proper children and lead a very sensible, dignified married life. That is very important. But love should be there. There should be love between husband and wife, between children and parents and everyone. If one person goes into imbalance, the whole family goes into imbalance. To establish a family sweetly and nicely is also an art. And if both of them agree and say that we will do this way, I am sure it's not difficult, because you are Sajogis, you are already know the quality of balancing. So you are placed so well, you have so many powers within yourself, and which you can express very well. Fearlessly you can have it within yourself. Anybody who tries to trouble you will be looked after by this all-pervading power. You don't have to do anything about it. So try to see, are you in balance in any way. Some people are too much attached to their family and some people are detached. Too much attachment to family is also wrong. What is the need to be attached so much? You spoil your children, when they grow up they hit you back. So best is to keep them in balance, have a detached attitude towards life. And this detached attitude, as I have told you, is like the sap in the tree, which goes to all the places. If it is surplus, it can evaporate or it can go down. But it doesn't stick to anything, because if it sticks to anything, that involvement will kill that tree and also kill that part, that flower where it is sticking on to. So we see that attached love is the death of love. So we have to have proper understanding of this detached love, where you stand on your gravity and you are concerned about everyone, think about everyone. In case you find that somebody is not all right, you don't lose your balance, but get that person in the balance. If you start losing your balance, then how can you get back that person? And in that way you will lose all your hatred, all your anger, all your lust, or what you can call all your competition, all that. Because you stand in your own dignity. You don't want certificate from anyone. You don't want any praising from anyone. You just know that you are there and you are self-contented. So today, to begin with, we have this Ganesh Puja, where we all should in our heart think what is our gravity point. And that we have to stand very firm. May God bless you.